This is the Caribou cooler from Caribou Equipment Co. This thing is a beast. I'm going to talk today about all of the things that this cooler comes with, all the different cool little options that they added on here for your enjoyment and to keep your food and drinks cold. We're going to go over the pros and cons and tell you what I love most about this cooler. I have had this cooler for about 3 months now. I got it in September, right before I left for BC for my elk hunt. I took it on the plane with me. I checked it as a bag, as it is fairly large size. This is the 75 liter. And I have to say, I was a little worried that there was going to be an issue with it underneath the plane, but it came off that conveyor belt just as it arrived at my door. In perfect shape, no issues with the airline, no problems at all. I was really happy about that. Roto molded coolers, which is what this is, are really heavy, hard, strong plastic. This thing is probably close to being bear proof. They are very, very strong. This particular model has 2 cup holders on the top. It's got a nice ruler here for those of you who need to measure things who need to measure things when you're out in the outdoors. Maybe you catch a fish and you're arguing with your friend about how big it is. Throw it down on the top here and you can see with the ruler this size. It has very nice rope carry handles on both sides. I like these. I prefer these than to the sturdier handles, because if you've ever carried a cooler of this size, with the stiffer handles, the plastic handles, you can only go so far. It's a little cumbersome. These are free flowing and move around, and it's really easy to navigate with it when you're carrying it. If you are not carrying it, which I highly suggest when you can, to use the wheel that they have. It's got this nice arm on the side here that lifts up, and you can raise it up and wheel it around, which is also extremely helpful. The other thing to remember about these coolers, and it doesn't just go for this particular cooler, all of the roto-molded coolers of this size are in the ballpark of 35 to 40 pounds with nothing in them. That's something to consider. Some people don't realize that, but that goes across the board. That's not just with this particular cooler, that's with other companies as well. Other companies in this segment, if you check their websites, you will find that they are in the 35 to 40 pound range empty. In terms of ice retention, I had a couple of bags. I put 2 bags of ice in here and I let it sit closed outside in the end of August, I want to say, and at the end of the 5 days, there was no ice left. It was purely water. Now, it depends on the environment that you're going to be in. Again, I've had this basically end of August, early September to now, which is November. It's about -4 out there today. If I had 2, 3, 4 bags of ice in here and left it out on my porch, then I would get a lot longer than if I had it during the summer months. So I'm going to say the average is anywhere between 3 or 4 days. You get around the 3-day mark and the ice will start to melt, and then by the 4-day mark you'll notice significant water in it, but still ice. And then by day 5 there was no ice at all. So again, depending on the environment you're going to and the weather that this is going to be in will decide on what kind of ice retention you're going to get. On the side here is the drain plug. Now this drain plug, this thing, the first couple times I used it, the drain plug, I had to use the drain plug to take out the air that was trapped inside, because of the suction. After I undid these latches, I couldn't get it open because it was so airtight. This thing is really cool in that way. It definitely has a good seal on it. As you can see here, it's got a rubber seal around here which locks in tight, gives you a nice form. When it comes to closing, you really have to wrench down these rubber tabs and gives you a nice solid seal. It's got a bottle opener here on the side. There's also holes drilled through to put a lock should you want to lock your cooler. My absolute favorite part of this cooler is the internal basket. Now, some companies have internal baskets that are about a quarter of this size. This basket is the entire size of this cooler. The cool thing about it is it sits just above the bottom. So if you put ice, if you fill the bottom of the cooler with ice and you put this in, you put the basket in and you put all your food or your drinks or whatever you're putting in here, it will not come in contact with the ice. Think about all those countless times you went camping and you had your egg cartons in there and you had the ice in there, and after a little while everything got soggy and nasty and gross. You can avoid all that with this cool basket. So as I said, this is a 75 liter cooler. The basket is a 70 liter basket. It's got easy draining with this unscrewable drain plug on the side. So again, if you're in the market for a large roto-molded cooler, check out Caribou Equipment Co. at Home of the Caribou on Instagram, Caribou Equipment Co. on their website. Check them out. So the retail price for this cooler is $4.99. Right now they are on sale for $3.49. There are sales from time to time, so make sure you stay on top of their website. They do come in white, light gray, and dark gray. This is the light gray color. Again, so if you're in the market for a roto-molded cooler, check out Home of the Caribou, Caribou Equipment Co. These roto-molded coolers, like I said, across the board, are heavy at times and will be even heavier when you have food and drinks in here. Thankfully, this has a wheel and a nice way to tow it around. But if you are lifting it, it can be cumbersome if it is full to the brim. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more videos like this. There's a lot more stuff coming for the end of this year and a lot of awesome things that I can't wait to tell you about for 2024. So again, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.